Hi, my name is Carl Grace. I'm a tattoo artist out of Las Vegas. I've been at 7 Tattoo Studio for the last 3 years, but I recently made a decision to travel, and I'm going to be guest spotting and doing the circuit for the next couple years. My favorite style of tattooing is definitely black and gray. I enjoy the freehand, drawing on people's skin, letting things grow as I'm going. I feel like that's my strong point. I have the most fun with it. I'm able to evolve as I'm going with the artwork. Half the time I draw something and it turns into something completely different just based off of the ink splatters or just different ideas as I'm going. So I feel like that's letting me tap into my artistic part of the mind a little bit more. I'm mostly known for a lot of my freehand dark type of work. I wouldn't say dark like just the values, even though I use a lot of black in my pieces. Dark as far as like more evil, kind of creepy style of tattooing. Somebody asked me a while back what if I had to explain my style of tattooing, and I thought about it for a while. I think I came up with, it's more of like a realistic, darker, evil, black and gray with like a little bit of abstract twist to it. I definitely do like weird shapes and angles in my work with some of the skulls or creepy like demons or hot chicks that are breaking their faces and things like that. If I had to pick 3 of my favorite tattoos, I'd say the first one was because it was more of a challenge. I did a raffle and somebody flew out, you know, they bought some tickets, they bought $50 tickets, and he gave me the inside of his forearm, and no pen, no reference, nothing in mind. I just started tattooing and created this kind of like surreal skull looking sideways, kind of like fading off, got like really soft and powderish. And then that morphed into like this girl's face with her like face cracking into a shell, and her head kind of turned into this like almost like negative chain link fence. It pushed me to a new limit as far as what I could do with my art on skin. So that's the first and foremost that sticks out as far as one of my favorite tattoos. One of my other favorite tattoos would be this huge side piece I did on this girl, Erin, out in Las Vegas. We actually stenciled a few things and then drew the rest on, and it was kind of like a story. Like on top was like this girl's face, and like she's really beautiful. She got her finger on her mouth, kind of like a seductive look. Down into like this clock that was kind of like shattering to the side, but it was like really antique look. And then below that was like a realistic skull, like super light with all my contrast. I feel like my values were really on point with that. My third and one of my most favorite tattoos I've done was just I just actually completed about 5 months ago. It was a full back. We banged it out in 6 sessions. We got this huge back piece. It was one of my custom drawings that I actually put together for the only Sullen shirt that I've done so far. The piece is pretty cool. It's got this face, and like one eye is kind of like smoking away. And then the other eye is kind of like this old like empty socket where it used to be life, and the face kind of like morphs off a little bit. Above it is like a half of a clock. On the side there's 2 skulls kind of to take off like the panel of the large area of the back. And I pretty much was just thinking of trying to do something symmetric and based off more of a muscular anatomy of a man's back. I try to stay off the internet. You know, I feel like when I first got introduced into the tattoo industry, it was pretty much Google and DeviantArt and other, you know, website pages you'd go and catch reference from. And if I need to do like a realistic portrait or something, then obviously I'm gonna print it out, I'm gonna stencil it and put it on. But I don't feel like my work is going into the more realistic portrait style of tattooing. I think it's going into more of like that dark, surreal fantasy work, and I like it. So to get an appointment with me used to be pretty easy. Nowadays it's a little bit more difficult. I'm definitely on the road, so I no longer have a shop, a headquarters, a home. I'm pretty much gonna be traveling for the next 2 years. My assistant, she's on top of her game. You know, if you contact her, she lets you know where I'm gonna be. She gives you pricing, she gives you ideas. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of picky on what I do, just because I don't enjoy doing tattoos that I'm not great at. I feel like I've found my niche and I've worked towards it. It's definitely been something I've been working for the last couple of years. To get a hold of me, you can just email bigctattoos@gmail. It's BIGCTATTOOS@gmail.com. or you can text or call 626-456-0223. You're definitely gonna have a better chance of getting tattooed by me. You're looking for one of my custom pieces. I'm not taking on copying, whether it be a photo or whether it be a painting or a portrait. You know, it's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking to advance my art. I'm looking to grow. I'm always going to be looking for that. And so obviously I relate my freehand, having a little bit more artistic freedom, giving me like, you know, some direction is fine. I don't mind that. I actually enjoy that, because if everybody came up and said, hey, just do whatever you want like they used to, then eventually I ran out of ideas. But that's probably the easiest way to get tattooed, is to ask for some black and gray freehand. And then when I show up, not have a bunch of different references and say I want this exact thing, because you'll just get told, here's your deposit, bye. So that's it. I'm Carl Grace. Thanks for checking out my portfolio. Cool.
Good, man. Thank you very much.
So to give me, you know, sometimes people are like, just do whatever, and I'm like, well, you know, I need some direction. They're like, I don't care. I'm like, just give me 6 words of inspiration. Like, I don't even care, just something. And whatever pops in my head, usually, you know, I can usually like get in tune with my clients pretty quickly. So